Good evening. I'd like to call to order of the meeting of the Wilson School Board for Monday, June 18th, 2018. Can I have roll call, please?
Mr. Pace? Here. Mr. Ehrlich? Here. Ms. Ellis? Here. Mr. Hart?
Here.
Dr. Kennedy?
Here.
Mrs. Cocker?
Here.
Mr. Martin?
Here.
Mr. Negrini?
Here.
Mr. Wolf?
Here.
9 present.
Thank you. Can we all please rise for the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Maravich.
There's two opportunities for the public to address the board. One is on agenda items, which is immediately before the agenda. The second is on non-agenda items, which is at the end of the meeting. Pursuant to board policy and the Sunshine Law, it is a 3-minute opportunity to provide the board with matters that are or may come before it.
Thank you. Are there any communications or public participation on agenda items? Okay. Just an announcement, we did meet in executive session prior to tonight's meeting to discuss a personnel issue. We're going to go a little bit out of order. We're going to jump down with Mr. Hart on the phone here. We're going to jump down to 6.1 and 6.2 under finance so he can weigh in on that vote. So we're going to start with 6.1, looking for a motion to approve the 2018-2019 general fund budget with tax on real estate of 25.67 mils as per the resolution attached to permanent minutes, providing expenditures of $106,628,000. Do I have a motion for that? Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Second. Mr. Negrini. Actually, I guess we're gonna bundle 6.1 and 6.2 together. I'm sorry. We'll do 6.2 right away as well. Also looking for a motion to approve the homestead and farmstead exclusion resolution for 2018-2019 as per attached. So let's start that over. Do we have a motion for 6.1 and 6.2? Mr. Ehrlich, Mr. Negrini, second. Thank you. Roll call on those two, please. Yes, please.
First of all, I want to thank Christine, back there, Schlossman, and the whole staff for all their work on this budget. This was not an easy budget as usually they are difficult. This year was especially difficult. Christine did a great job in putting this together, working with Dr. Fadley, working with the finance committee to get this done. Nobody's ever happy about tax increases, but I really feel, considering where we started and where we're ending up at tonight, this is a good compromise, got to where we need to be. And as I've mentioned in the past, there's going to be a lot of work in future years to hopefully keep our taxes at a reasonable level. But I think that what we've come up with for this year is the best for the Wilson School District, for the students, and for the community.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, the only comment I would add to that, and I know Dr. Fadley and I in our weekly meetings talked about this, they made a very concerted effort to keep any cuts that need to be made as far away from the classroom as possible. So it was a systematic look at our entire budget, and I commend everybody that was involved. So thank you again. I think we have two motions. Can we have roll call on those two, please?
Yes. Mrs. Cocker?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mr. Pace?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Was that a yes? Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
9-4-0.
Thank you. Mr. Hart, you're going to sign off?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice time. Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. We're going to jump back up to approval of minutes. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the school board meeting for June 4th, 2018 as presented. Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Second. Ms. Ellis, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. That carries. Treasurer's report, Mr. Martin.
Mr. President, I recommend approval of the following reports.
the general fund investment, the capital reserve investments report, the general fund balance sheet, the general fund board summary, the treasury report, the capital reserve fund report, and the construction fund report.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve those? Mr. Case, Mr. Ehrlich, second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ehrlich? Yes. Ms. Ellis? Yes. Dr. Kennedy? Yes. Mrs. Cochran? Yes. Mr. Martin? Yes. Mr. Negrini? Yes. Mr. Case? Yes. Mr. Wolf? Yes. 8-4.
Thank you. Payment of bills, Mr. Martin.
Payment of bills are the general fund, $2,637,349.81. And now the capital reserve fund, $83,598.25.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for that? Ms. Ellis, thank you. Second. Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Roll call, please.
Ms. Ellis? Yes. Dr. Kennedy? Yes. Mrs. Cochran? Yes. Mr. Martin? Yes. Mr. Negrini? Yes. Mr. Case? Yes. Mr. Ehrlich? Yes. Mr. Wolf? Yes. 4-0.
Thank you. Financial reports, Mr. Martin.
Mr. President, I recommend acceptance of the following reports. The West Board Financial Summary, the West Check Request, the Student Activities Check Report, the Student Activity Financial Summary, the Board Financial Summary, a Check Request Report, the Child Balance Sheet, the Child Care Disbursements, Child Care Statement and Revenue Expenses, Food Service Balance Sheet, Food Service Disbursement Summary, and Food Service Revenue Expenses. And if anybody wants to ever look at this stuff, I have it all printed out if you want to look at.
Mr. Case, thank you. Mr. Ehrlich, second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Negrini? Yes. Mr. Case? Yes. Mr. Ehrlich? Yes. Ms. Ellis? Yes. Dr. Kennedy? Yes. Mrs. Cochran? Yes. Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
4-0 against.
Okay. Okay, we're going to jump down to 6.4. Looking for a motion to approve the debt collection resolution as per attached. 6.5, looking for a motion to approve the retention of G.H. Harris resolution as per attached. 6.6, motion to approve the resolution ratifying tax assessment appeals as presented. 6.7, motion to approve to place insurance with the carriers for the 2018-2019 school year as presented. 6.8, a motion to approve a 5-year lease agreement with River Rock Academy as presented. 6.9, motion to approve to submit all unpaid 2017 per capita tax bills to statewide tax recovery subject to payments collected through June 15th, 2018. 6.10, motion to approve the budget transfers dated May 17th, 2018 through June 13th, 2018 as presented. And I think we're doing all of those. So we're looking for a motion for 6.4 through 6.10. Mr. Martin? Yes. Sure.
On the 6.8, the lease for River Rock Academy, has that been finalized?
No, that's why it's actually added in the public comment, but we did request the change that you requested with respect to assignments or subleasing, and they haven't gotten back to us.
So it's to your satisfactory approval then?
It's actually, not sure why it's repeated this way, but if you look in the public comment to the, it's added to say that, am I looking at the right one? It says something to the effect, and I'm looking at the wrong one.
Hold on here, I can get it up for you.
It had in there about the subletting.
Yeah. No,
It says to be approved by solicitor.
Right.
correct.
Okay.
The request that Mike made was
okay.
that it be for educational purposes and not be that they not be basically making money subletting
They
it.
can't sublet it out
Right.
without our permission.
Right.
Right, and that's already in there, but he wanted to get them to agree that they wouldn't put like a mortgage brokerage firm in there or something like
Right.
that.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, still looking for a motion for 6.4 through 6.10. Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Second. Mr. Martin, thank you. Roll call on those.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mr. Pease?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
8-4, 0 against.
Thank you. 6.12, looking for a motion to approve to receive the nomination of Board Treasurer for the July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019 term as presented. At this point, we open it up for nominations, correct, Mr.?
Yeah, if there's more than
Ravitch?
one, yeah, yes.
Anyone other than Mr. Martin looking to step up? I would nominate Mr. Martin.
I will second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. 6.13, request approval to elect Michael Martin as Board Treasurer for the July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019 term. Do I have a motion for that? Mr. Case and Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Also a voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And 6.14, request permission to set the treasurer's salary at $0 for the July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019 term. Looking for a motion for that. Mr. Case, thank you. Mrs. Cocker, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mr. Martin, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
doing it for $0.
But you'll still have tax withholding from.
Yeah,
from
we're still
that.
gonna
You'll owe the district money, but we'll just collect it.
we're still
at
gonna
the
send
end
you
of
a
the year.
1099 on that. Superintendent's report, Dr. Fadley.
Thank you, President Wolf. It's my privilege this evening to submit the superintendent's report, personnel program recommendations. Before the board votes, I would like to recognize one individual who is retiring effective July 3rd, Beth Schmidt, who is the secretary at Shiloh Hills, who has provided 13 years of service to the Wilson District.
Thank you. Any other comments? Looking for a motion for the superintendent's report, to accept the superintendent's report. Mr. Martin first, Mr. Ehrlich second. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Martin? Yes. Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mr. Pease?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis? Yes. Dr. Kennedy? Yes. Mrs. Cocker? Yes. Mr. Wolf? Yes. 8-4, 0 against.
Thank you. 8.1, looking for a motion to request permission to approve the trip to Walt Disney World, Florida for approximately 25 students in theater from April 16th through the 20th, 2019. 2 days out of school. Cost of students is approximately $1,200. Cost of the district is 2 substitutes for 2 days. Students will be chaperoned by Mr. and Mrs. Reppert. Looking for a motion. Mr. Case, thank you. Second. Mrs. Cocker, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. On to HR. Looking for a motion to authorize the superintendent to make employment commitments to qualified applicants as presented. 10.2, looking for a motion to authorize the appointment of the assistant principal as presented. That would be to authorize the appointment of John Schroeder to Southern Middle School assistant principal at $85,923 per year, effective July 1st, 2018, replacing Kelly Byrne, who was promoted. Yes. Oh, we're going to break those out individually. Okay. Oh, I do see your note in there. It would help if I read the rest of it. Sorry about that. So we're going to go back to 10.1, superintendent to make employment commitments. Do I have a motion for that? Mr. Negrini, thank you. Second. Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Negrini? Yes. Mr. Pease?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker? Yes. Mr. Martin? Yes. Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
8-4, 0 against.
Okay, moving on to 10.2 would be the motion to authorize the previously stated appointment of the assistant principal as presented. Do I have a motion for that? Mrs. Cocker, Miss Ellis, second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Pease?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker? Yes. Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
4, 0 against.
Is he here? John here? No, okay. 10.3, looking for a motion to request approval of the 2018-2019 support staff compensation ranges effective July 1st, 2018, per attached. Do I have a motion for that? Mr. Negrini, thank you. Second, Mr. Ehrlich. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mr. Wall?
Yes.
8-4, 0 no.
Okay. 10.5, looking for a motion to request approval to authorize the administrator salary increase effective July 1st, 2018. I'm sorry, I was clicked on it and I went to the next one. So we're going to jump back up to 10.4, request approval to authorize the support staff hourly rate increase effective July 1st, 2018. Do I have a motion for that? Ms. Ellis, Mrs. Cocker, second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy? Yes. Mrs. Cochran? Yes. Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Yes.
8-4, 0.
10.5, request approval to authorize the administrator salary increases effective July 1st, 2018. Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Second, Ms. Ellis, thank you. Roll call, please.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Wall?
Yes.
4-0.
Thank you. And 10.6, looking for a motion to request approval to increase Dr. David O'Rourke's pre-employment physical examination rate from $50 to $55 effective July 1st, 2018. Is there a motion for that? Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Second, Mrs. Cocker. Roll call, please.
Cochran? Yes. Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. Wall?
Yes.
8-4, 0.
Thank you. Moving on to Pupil Services, 11.1. Looking for a motion to request permission to enter the names of the 2018 Wilson graduates into the permanent minutes as attached. 11.2. Looking for a motion to request approval to contract with Connor Weiser Decision School to provide education to a special education student at a cost of $204.61 per day for the 2017-2018 school year. 11.3, looking for a motion to approve the adoption agreement and release as presented, which is 15 hours of reading tutoring to a student between June 19th and August 24th, 2018, and 15 hours of reading tutoring between the final day of 2018-2019 school year and the first day of the 2019-2020 school year to settle and comprise all claims raised by the parents of a special education student, and to authorize the board president and secretary to execute the agreement on behalf of the district. 11.4, looking for a motion to request approval to contract with Progression School to provide education for a special education student at a cost of $166.50 per day for the 2018-2019 school year. 11.5, request approval to contract with Hogan Learning Academy to provide education for 5 special education students at a cost of $400 per day and 3 special education students at a discounted cost of $380 per day beginning August 27th, 2018 through June 6th, 2019. 11.6, looking for approval of the resolution approving and adopting the student discipline waiver and consent agreement dated May 30th, 2018, and also approval for the resolution approving and adopting the student discipline waiver and consent agreement dated June 4th, 2018. 11.7, 2 placements. One would be for a 14-year-old Wilson student, high school student, on August 27, 2018 into River Rock Academy at a rate of $116.70 per day, and also the placement of another 14-year-old Wilson high school student on August 27, 2018 into Bucksmont Academy at a rate of $128.39 per day. 11.8, request approval of the Pennsylvania School-Based Access Program Local Education Agency Agreement to participate in the fiscal year 2018-2019 as per attached. And finally, 11.9, request approval for the purchase of 15 secondary student slots at River Rock Academy for the 2018-2019 school year at a discounted rate of $116.70 per day for 185 school days, and one elementary student slot at the Amity campus at a discounted rate of $143.17 for 185 school days, bringing the annual cost to $350,328.95. Any comments or questions? That was a lot. Go ahead, Dr. Kennedy. I think I saw that one. It said 17, 18. Yeah, is that supposed to be 11.2? Okay. So under 11.2, we're going to amend that to read the Conner-Weiser Decision School for the 2018-2019 school year. Thank you. I saw that too and forgot to say something. Yes, Mr. Martin.
On the River Rock Academy, that's something new this year that you haven't seen in the past, and that's because we kind of changed the philosophy on this. And do you want to speak about that?
Sure. Before, 5 years ago, when we were doing a grant at Lower Hanover Elementary School, we did an exchange of rent for student slots. Working with Christine and looking through it, we decided that it would be best just to separate the agreement. So now we are paying for the slots. We do pre-reserve the slots, and we look at our historical data is what we do. But the agreement, the student agreement with River Rock will be an annual agreement, one that we can adjust our student slots each year, whereas the leasing agreement has a 5-year, 5 years. So separating them out, it takes more flexibility.
In lieu of rent, so we're getting rent.
Right.
So
Right.
About this from a financial point of view, we went through a lot of detail. It just makes it cleaner. We're leasing the building. It's a straight lease deal rather than trying to mix, frankly, the academic piece with the finance piece. We're leasing. And I think, personally, it's good that we have River Rock there. It's beneficial for this district to have that in our district. It just makes it a cleaner transaction for, frankly, easier to understand for everybody.
Thank you. Anyone else? Comments before we? Okay, so looking for a motion for 11.1 through 11.9. Mr. Martin, thank you. Ms. Ellis, thank you. Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Martin?
yes.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy? Yes. Mrs. Cochran? Yes. Mr. Wall?
Yes.
8-4, 0.
Thank you. Jumping down to operations, 13.1, looking for a motion to request permission to enter into a maintenance service agreement with CM3 Building Solutions from 185 Commerce Drive, Fort Washington, at a cost of $26,304. Mr. Negrini, thank you. Mr. Case, thank you. Any comments on that? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Mr. Case? Yes. Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy? Yes. Mrs. Cochran?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Wall?
Yes.
8-4, 0.
14.1, looking for a motion to seek approval to pay Joel Dries for Q4 virtual driver's education in the amount of $5,750, which is equal to 2 sections times $1,000 base fees plus $50 per student times 75 students enrolled. Do I have a motion for that? Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Mrs. Cocker, thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. you. 16.1, looking for a motion to approve the 2018-2019 food service budget and recommended pricing as presented. I have a motion for that. Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Mrs. Cocker, thank you. Any discussion or comments on that? Yes.
Christine and with our consultant have worked hard on our food service. As we know, it's been an issue in this district. And I think we've made some strides here, not only the financial piece, but also in the quality of the quality and variety of food that we're serving our students. And I know we're early into this, but I think we've made some headway, and I think this budget's appropriate for where we are at this point.
Thank you. I agree. I believe we have both motions. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Dr. Kennedy? Yes. Mrs. Cocker? Yes. Mr. Martin? Yes. Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
4-0.
Down to extracurricular under 18.1, looking for a motion to request approval of the arbiter pay user agreement amendment and proposal of fees stating an average unit price of $1.25 per transaction beginning with the 2018-2019 school year as a payment agent for athletic officials per the attached. Do I have a motion for that? Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Mr. Negrini, any comments or questions? Yes.
Has been utilized in Lancaster County quite successfully for some time. I know for the transaction fee, how this will make things significantly easier on our staff here, and I believe pay the officials in a much more timely manner than what they have been accustomed to. I think it's a win-win for everybody, and it's been properly vetted. We've gotten good feedback of this particular company.
Yeah, and it was a very concerted effort. This isn't just us doing it, it's the whole county basically jumping on so that our official associations will buy into it and hopefully all agree to do it. It'll make it much easier and ultimately, like you mentioned, get them paid a little bit quicker as well. So I think it's a good idea all around. Looking for a motion for, I didn't do motion for those yet, right? Okay, so we're looking for a roll call then for that, please.
Ms. Ellis? Yes. Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker?
Yes.
Mr. Martin? Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Yes.
7-4.
Yep. Down to policies. First, we're going to do 19.1. Looking for a motion to accept the third and final reading of the following policies: 118, independent study; 122, extracurricular activities; 123, interscholastic athletics; 123.2, concussion management; 202, eligibility of non-residents; 246, student wellness; 509, assignment and transfer; 514, physical examination; 543, paid holidays; and 551.1, pre-employment drug testing. Do I have a motion to accept those? Mrs. Cocker, probably gladly get these off your plate, right? Mr. Case, thank you. Roll call on those, please.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. 19.2, second reading, no vote there. And 19.3, first reading of those policies, no vote there. Down to miscellaneous under 20.1, looking for permission to request approval, or motion to request approval of the support staff handbook effective July 1st, 2018. Ms. Ellis, thank you. Mr. Ehrlich, thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
CTC, Mr. Case.
There has
There was not a meeting since our last board meeting, and the next BCTC meeting will be held at BCTC West on June 27th.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Kennedy, IU.
We have a meeting this Thursday, 5:30 at the
Thank you. Do you want to do curriculum right away, too?
We don't have a meeting for that until August.
Okay. Berks EIT, Mrs. Schlossman, anything? Okay, thank you. I don't have anything under extracurricular at this point. Mr. Kaufman, anything you want to add? Okay. Facilities, Mr. Negrini?
We had a meeting on June 11th. We discussed the remodeling of the administration lobby. There was going to be a meeting with Joe Colombo, who has worked for many years with the Grandview Gallery that we see not only here in pre-board, but out in the hallway and the waiting area, and to get some input from him to continue on with the artwork display that we've had in conjunction with that remodeling effort. So more news to come later. We also discussed the update on the auditorium feasibility study, and there has been some discussion about the potential of adding some additional scope of design, which might include moving some offices to the area where the current auditorium is. The reasoning that we were provided may assist, number one, in some security efforts to make not only the building more secure, but it also would potentially place the offices in a much more centralized location to maximize the efforts of the staff and administration to be closer to the auditorium. Along with that discussion, obviously, will be conceptual ideas and a dollar figure that would go along with some of those potential options during the scope of work. So we're still gathering some additional information. We're certainly not at a point where we have a dollar figure for that and a recommendation to be made from facilities, but we are continuing to discuss that potential project. We received updates of our capital list. Many of the summer projects have begun, and many are expected to be completed prior to the start of the school year. We discussed the River Rock lease agreement, which we voted on this evening. We also discussed the Southern Middle School assistance of a design by Temple students regarding the locker room area. But as we continue to discuss that idea and some other improvements that are slated for Southern Middle School over the next 2 years that are in the neighborhood of about $200,000, we talked about the idea of whether or not the necessity may come forth that a much larger renovation may be necessary over at Southern, both from a practical standpoint. There was some discussion about the flow of students, that perhaps designs need to be changed in order to facilitate the movement of students within the building in a timely manner. And again, it goes to the larger philosophical question as to whether or not we should spend money over the next 2 years for smaller projects if, as our student population continues to grow, whether or not, looking forward, the idea of considering expansion projects at buildings such as Southern. So myself and Mr. Martin, I believe, are going to coordinate with Dr. Burnham over the summer to see some of the ideas that he has talked about from a facility standpoint, so that we might be able to properly discuss this at the next facilities meeting in August. The last item that was brought up under new business at our facilities meeting, I had some discussions with community members about the area over where West Wyomissing Elementary used to be. That is right now, essentially a vacant plot that's still owned by the district. There had been some discussions in years past about whether or not to sell that to perhaps an individual or a business to build. I think at one point there was some possible discussions of a 55 and older type of building or small community placed in there that didn't come to fruition. But nonetheless, some of the community members have approached me about the idea of creating some type of rec center over in that particular area that would have the buy-in of not only the district, perhaps Spring Township, some of the youth sports groups, the idea of something along the lines of an Olivets club where we could certainly have a building that could be utilized for after-school programs, both from an educational standpoint. We've also found that as our youth programs have grown, Mr. Kaufman can certainly speak to the idea that, the idea of space within the elementary buildings, the middle school buildings. We're hard-pressed to find any free time for some of those buildings to accommodate both our student population and some of the youth programs that want to utilize the space within the district. So it's just in the discussion phase right now. It was recommended that administration perhaps reach out to the township, reach out to some of the youth programs to get some ideas flowing, and whether or not this idea of a true rec center there in West Wyomissing can come to fruition. And obviously out of that, how do we pay for that particular idea of a rec center there? So hopefully this will gain some traction, that lots of good ideas will come out of this idea of a rec center, and perhaps over the next couple of months we may take this to perhaps a planning stage. So that's my report.
Thank you. Mr. Ehrlich, Finance. Yeah, we had a lot today.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything for HR with Mr. Hart? Okay.
Nothing for human resources.
Mr. Martin did let me know he'd have to leave early, so we'll catch up with him on legislative next time. PR, Ms. Ellis, do you have anything? Okay.
Under Wilson Good News, the Reading Eagle recently published a special publication celebrating 2018's best and brightest graduating high school seniors in Berks County. We are thrilled that 18 students received, and 18 Wilson students received recognition as Berks Best. The overall winner in Communications Student of the Year was Wes Cipolla. The category finalists in Community Service were Abigail White, Mathematics, Jasper Den Otter, Performing Arts, Abigail White, World Languages, Hope Sullivan, Social Studies, Jillian Herzog, Vocational Technical Skills, Maya Hunter. The category nominees were Business, Nicholas Drake, Kylie Erb, Communications, Marlena McArdle, Community Service, Watson Mick, Computer Science, Nolan Baldwin, Jocelyn Powell, World Languages, Hasanatu Karama, Mathematics, Quinn Sprott, Performing Arts, Zach Walter, Science Environment, Jasper Denater and Sarah Waranko, Social Studies, Nikhil Kumar, and Visual Arts, Anderson Deutschman. Wilson High School ranked number 34 best high school in Pennsylvania by U.S. News and World Report. Congratulations to the students, staff, and administrators at Wilson High School on earning a silver medal and ranking of number 24 in the recent U.S. News and World Report list of best high schools in Pennsylvania. Schools are ranked based on their performance on state-required tests and how well they prepare students for college. We are proud of all the efforts that resulted in this high ranking. Also, the PA Federation of Women's Club recently held its annual state convention, and Wilson students received awards in numerous categories. Congratulations to the following students who competed against students from throughout Pennsylvania and received awards. In the short story category, Kamaya Hill, first place, grades K through 2. Sindora Sridhar, first place, grades 3 through 5. Genevieve Savage, first place, grades 6 through 8. Rachel Krieger, second place, grades 9 through 12. In the poetry category, Charlie Bowman, second place, grades K through 2. Griffin Sayre, third place, grades 3 through 5. Ashley Belanca, second place, grades 6 through 8. Maggie Foyt, first place, grades 9 through 12. In the art category, Tim Langel, first place, grades 3 through 5. In the photography category, Olivia Vecchio, second place in the living things category, grades 3 through 5. Kayla Brown, second place in the still life category, grades 3 through 5. Amaya Shah, third place in the living things category, grades 9 through 12. Anderson Deutschman, second place in the still life category, grades 9 through 12. And first place in the scenic category, grades 9 through 12. And under Berks County Community Foundation Scholarship event, I must say congratulations to all of the students who were recognized on Monday, June 4th, during the Berks County Community Foundation Scholarship Luncheon, which was held at the Reading Doubletree. I had the pleasure of sitting at a table with 2 recent Wilson graduates and scholarship recipients, including my daughter. I'm very proud of the accomplishments of our students and wish our graduates the very best as they move forward into the next chapter of their lives. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Lots of good news. Ed Foundation, Mr. Case.
More great news coming from the Wilson Education Foundation. The Wilson Education Foundation has hired an administrative coordinator, and we are excited to have Darcy Willingmeyer fill the position. Darcy comes highly recommended and was previously the program coordinator at Green Valley Elementary. A total of 6 fall 2018 venture grants were approved, and teachers were notified individually by email. The approved grants are as follows: the Wilson Fly Fishing Club, the Theater Artist in Residence, the Math and Model Rockets Club, Word Work Wizards, and Wilson Literary Magazine. And also Reading for a Purpose, Therapy Dogs in the Classroom. And the WEF was not able to approve the coffee cart business at this time, since it would be in a violation of the wellness policy and in direct competition with Wilson Food Service. We encourage the teacher to reach out to the food service for alternative ideas. So, and also, please mark your calendars. We have secured the date of Saturday, November 17th, 2018, for our WEF Fall Fundraiser. This will take place. This will take the place of the Back to School Bash. More details to follow. So, thank you for your support.
Great. Thank you very much. Mrs. Cocker, anything under technology? Okay. And Mr. Moravich.
Since Mike wasn't here, I guess the Senate Committee on Education released 1095, Senate Bill 1095, which would be the needed amendment to say that the only way you can graduate is the Keystones. And I know PSBA is calling for support for that so that it can get to the Senate floor and get voted on. I believe it offers a number of different options that I can't name here, but that allows a student to show that they're, they should be graduating from high school without necessarily passing the Keystones.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Is there any public participation? No one else? Okay. Looking for a motion to adjourn then, unless there's any other business? Anything else? Oh, yeah. Good point. Thank you. There will be some work being done in the boardroom here. So July's meeting is being canceled at this point. Our next meeting, I believe, is the 4th or 6th of August? 6th of August, I believe, yeah, August 6th. So there will be no July board meeting. Thank you. Any other business? Looking for a motion to adjourn? Ms. Ellis, second. Mr. Case, we're adjourned. Thank you.